Today on Mina Studio, we're going to take a look at that classic studio monitor with the yellow cone. Welcome to Mina Studio. My name is Nathan. With me as always on the soundboard back here is my tech director, Ronald. If I remember correctly from grade school, don't Stegosauruses not have ears at all? Anyways, he decided it was time to upgrade our studio monitors here at Mina Studio. So I have that classic studio monitor with the yellow cone. If you've ever shot for studio monitors, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the heavy KRK Classic 5, or what used to be called the Rocket 5, I believe. This is the KRK 5-inch near-field studio monitor. And this is actually part one of several videos I'm going to make comparing studio monitors. So up today we have the KRK Classic 5, which, disclaimer, KRK did send me to test out, but that doesn't mean nothing. These are still my opinions. I'm going to be honest with you. Part two, I'm going to test out the Kali LP6s, and then in part three I'm going to compare a bunch of studio monitors, the Kalis, the Rockets, the M-Audios, and even some little tiny Polk speakers, just to give you a reference. So that'll give you an idea of what different studio monitors can sound like. And if you're new to the whole audio thing and you're not sure if you actually need studio monitors or what studio monitors you would need, I will talk about that a little more in part three, where I compare the different studio monitors. So stick around for that as well. So here's the big disclaimer of all of these videos. Videos comparing studio monitors or trying to tell you what studio monitors sound like are fairly useless. Because, not useless, my opinions aren't useless. Well, I guess that's actually up to you. But the audio tests themselves are fairly useless to you as to what the speakers actually sound like, because you're not hearing the speakers. You're going to hear the KRK sound going through a microphone that will probably color the sound, going through your speakers, which will definitely color the sound. So there's no actual way except for me to get in an Uber and come to your house and set these up for you, which I ain't gonna do. The KRK Classic 5s are 5-inch near-field studio monitors. These come in at about $150 a piece, which seems to be kind of the baseline of 5-inch and 6-inch sometimes studio monitors for budget studios. $150 a piece is a pretty standard cost for a lot of these companies' base level studio monitors. They are pretty beefy speakers. Ugh, they're quite a bit heavier than my old M-Audio monitors are. 5-inch woofer, you got your tweeter, and then you got your front bass port. You can have front bass ports or back bass ports, and that's when you'll see the little hole cut in the back of the speaker. I have a smaller area that I listen to, and my speakers are close to walls in the back, so I like the front bass port, because the back bass port will just bounce off the wall behind it, shoot straight at you. You don't get a good idea. I do personally like these front bass ports. The back of the speaker, you'll see 3 frequency adjustment knobs, which is nice. So the high frequency level adjustment, you have a low frequency level, and then you have the volume. Pretty standard. As for inputs, you have 3 options, 2 balanced options, which are your TRS, or your typical 1/4 inch cable. You have your XLR, and then for unbalanced, you have an RCA input. I will say I tested both of these, the balanced and the unbalanced, and I got quite a bit of noise with the unbalanced RCA input, quite a bit. Now, I don't know if that's in all uses. I don't know if there's something in my system that's causing that. I also know that unbalanced will always be noisier because they're unbalanced, but it was more noise than I was willing to put up with, so I had to switch and use the TRS cables. Another thing I do really like about this, it seems small, but it's got a pad on the bottom. It's got a foam pad on the bottom of the speaker. And almost always you're going to want some sort of isolation from your desk to your speaker, whether it be a large foam pad or the ISO acoustic stands or something like that. Now this foam pad on the bottom of here is really thin and not really reliable as acoustic isolation, but it is definitely better than nothing if you don't have any acoustic isolation. And honestly, I think all studio monitors should have this on the bottom, because, I mean, why not? So those are the features. How does it sound? Now, I'm not going to play or test anything for you because, as I said before, that's really useless. You're hearing your speakers, not this one. But I will test this in the comparison video coming up later. That way you can at least get a difference between other studio monitors. As for sound, I was actually really impressed by the sound of these. They kind of blew away my old M-Audio BX5 studio file monitors. Now, full disclaimer, those are like 10 years old and the cabinets are coming apart, and I think some of the amps might be dying. So they're not at their peak performance right now, but these blew them away. I really liked how they sound. They had very crisp highs, really good lows for a 5-inch speaker. Rockets or KRKs are kind of known for their low-level performance, sometimes to their detriment, because for monitors you want to hear what's actually going on, not what the speaker wants you to think is going on. I'm talking about it like it's alive. But you do have those adjustments on the back. So far, I've left everything flat. For a 5-inch budget studio monitor, I was really impressed. If you're looking for a starter set of studio monitors, I don't think you would go wrong with the KRKs here. So next time I'm going to talk about the Kali LP6 studio monitors, and then if you want to hear this KRK and how it stacks up against some other studio monitors, stick around for part 3. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you back here in just a little bit. I have to set this down. It's really heavy. My arm hurts. Oh man.